and welcome back to your Giant pregame show presented by Sherwood Ford. Tyler, Caroline here with you, and the view isn't as pretty today, but we're still going to get the job done, huh, Tyler?
It's warmer in here.
It is.
Won't complain. Barely, but it is warmer in here.
Awesome. All right. I mean, let's recap the game against the Habs. Massive 7-2-1 win for the Oilers, 4 straight in a row now. We knew, we had our fingers crossed, and we knew that the Oilers would beat this Habs team because everyone has been beating the Habs recently. But still an impressive game from the Oilers, and we saw a lot of good things. And let's maybe start with the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins third-line center. We've been talking about that for months on this pregame show, how we would love to see that because it adds depth to our bottom six. And look what that third line did.
Yeah, that third line scored 3 goals for the Oilers. And yeah, they got outshot at 5-on-5, but they made their few shots count. And that's why we talked about the idea of, at the time we were discussing, when Holloway's healthy, does he give you the wing depth to run 3 centers? Thought maybe they had it even without Holloway. The addition of Evander Kane really allows you to stagger out some of the depth on your lineup, and the duo of Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman was just tremendous in that hockey game.
You mentioned Evander Kane. I feel like the talk of not only Edmonton, but the NHL, he got his first goal in his first game.
Because, of course he does, right?
Good for him. Everyone was happy to see it. I don't think, in my personal opinion, Evander Kane is the solution to all of the Edmonton Oilers' concerns. However, he does check off of a few boxes. And exactly what you said. He gives this team depth. And first game as an Oiler to find the back of the net, go Kane, right?
Yeah, it obviously a big goal for him. He joked after the game that some of the guys in the room were saying, hey, we haven't scored first in a while. So Kane was happy to help out in that regard. And, in a way, maybe a little bit expected, right? We knew he was a good top 6 winger, a guy who scored at a 30-goal pace for 5 straight seasons. But to see him come in and be effective after not having played in the NHL at all yet this season was an encouraging sign for the Oilers. And again, you saw the effects of having depth. Every Oilers forward line scored a goal at 5-on-5 in that hockey game. And Kane was obviously a big reason why. Like the Oilers as well, leading after the first period, scoring the first goal. This is stuff they have not done in a really, really long time. And it was great to see. And they're undefeated when they lead after the first period. So, again, Kane was good. The whole offense was good. Skinner was solid. There's just nothing to complain about from that victory for the Oilers.
And when you see Connor McDavid smile, it's always a good day. I feel like Connor's really rooting for Evander Kane.
And how about the Oilers putting up the offense that they did, a total of 7 goals. Connor McDavid held off the score sheet. No points for number 97, which, again, is an encouraging sign in a weird way because they didn't have 97 and 29. I know Draisaitl scored twice, but it wasn't like those two had to do everything offensively. It was just a really solid team effort against Montreal, and as it should have been because Montreal is terrible.
And how about Evander Kane maybe tonight dropping the gloves? Maybe some Brady Tkachuk, Evander Kane action. Imagine that fight. That'd be one to see.
We did see a Cassian tilt, though. So, again, we've talked about needing toughness, and Cassian talked about it after the game that it needs to be a team mentality. But the Oilers in that game were definitely harder to play against. There were some big hits. Evander Kane had one that I honestly thought he was going to have a hearing for with his hit on Nick Suzuki. And Zach Cassian running the goalie, dropping the mitts later in the game. Like, the toughness element was there against Montreal as well, and that's an encouraging sign.
Cassian heard our last pregame show where we said that he needed to get a little rough. I think that's what it was. And you mentioned Stuart Skinner's 21 saves on the night for him, and obviously not the best competition with the Habs, but he got the job done. Always good to see him get some minutes tonight. It's not going to be Stuart Skinner between the pipes. Do you like the choice with going with Mikko Koskinen?
Yeah, I do like the choice to go with Mikko Koskinen, actually. In his last couple of games, he's been really good, and you can see the numbers here. 3-0, 2.33 goals against average, .931 save percentage. And going into the game against Montreal, I said you don't want to overwork this guy because we know what happens when Mikko gets overworked. But now he had that Saturday game off. Skinner was good, but he by no means had to steal that hockey game. Go back to Mikko because he was the hot hand. So I liked the decision to rest him Saturday. I liked the decision to go back to him tonight.
Let's see if it pays out for the Oilers. Right now, let's move on to the opposition report presented by Jägburger. Obviously, the Oilers are in Ottawa tonight taking on the Sens, who are 13-21-4. Last time we played this team was on January 15th, and we lost 6-4. So we know that we can't assume that this game is locked for us. We have to come out and obviously do the job that the boys have been doing in the last 4 games. The Sens are coming off of back-to-back losses against the Canes and the Ducks. Tkachuk obviously will want to change the tide here. We know that he's been a big presence for this Ottawa Senators team. Tyler, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, one big thing, you saw the names right there on that graphic, Batherson and Norris. Neither of those guys are going to be in the lineup tonight. They're both out with injuries. This is a Senators team that's struggling along a little bit right now, 4-4-2 in their last 10. They're coming off a loss in their last game, and they haven't been good on home ice either. 6-11-1 at the Canadian Tire Center, Scotiabank Arena. I don't even know what they call it there in Ottawa anymore, but just 6-11-1. They're only going to have 500 people in the stands as well tonight. tonight. So like Montreal, probably won't be a great atmosphere there, but all the more reason for the Oilers to just come out and set the tone themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's head into the lines presented by Deuce Vodka for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, let's jump into this. Like I said, the Senators missing a handful of regulars up front. Colin White, Connor Brown, Drake Batherson, Josh Norris. That's 4 of their top 6 players out of the lineup for the Senators. Brady Tkachuk is in the lineup for the Sens. He's struggling. No goals in his last 10 games. Oof. He'll be on the top line with Tim Stützle and the former Oiler Tyler Ennis, who's playing great. 4 goals in his last 5. He had a hat trick recently. The second line is Chris Tierney with Adam Gaudette and Alex Formenton. Nick Paul on the third line, pending UFA on the Senators. They got Zach Sanford on the left side, Austin Watson on the right side. And on the fourth line, it's the former Calgary Hitmen centerman Mark Kastelik with Igor Sokolov and Clark Bishop. This is not a very deep Senators team. That fourth line is an American League line. Everywhere else, just not a lot that really scares you with this group, especially with the injuries they're going through. On the back end, former first-round pick Lassie Thompson with Thomas Chabot, who leads the NHL in time on ice per game. The St. Albert product Nick Holden, who's fresh off getting a contract extension as well, with Artem Zub. Josh Brown with Eric Brandstrom on the third pairing. And between the pipes for the Ottawa Senators, it's going to be Matt Murray. He's 3-6-2 on the year. He's got a .294 goals against average and a .906 save percentage in his last 5 starts. He's only allowed 10 goals, though. So Murray playing a little bit better as of late, so the Senators going to need him to be big tonight.
And how about for the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, for the Edmonton Oilers, they're going to roll with the same lineup that they had last game, and I like that decision. You can't argue with the results of getting 7 goals. So McDavid, Yamo, Kane, Draisaitl, Fogle, Puljujarvi, Nuge, Hyman, Cassian, McLeod, Ryan, and Shore, Derek Ryan. Good to see him get off the schneid and score a goal last game. D pairing, same deal. Nurse, Boothshard, Keith, Ceci, Lagesson, and Russell. Top power play unit for the Oilers, going to stay the same there. I did like how they worked in that second unit a little bit on their only power play opportunity against Montreal, but would like to see the Oilers draw more than just one power play tonight. Between the pipes, like we said, big bad Mikko Koskinen, the big Finn, getting the start for Edmonton.
All right, and our bet of the game presented by PointsBet. Tyler, you were happy last game because you cashed out a little.
Yeah, cashed out a little bit. Missed on my Puljujarvi prop, but we had some fun, Team Oilers Nation, putting some money on the Oilers puck line and things like that. And that's where I'm going for my bet of the game tonight. As you can see, Edmonton, massive favorites, minus -216 on the money line. That line's actually been shifting towards Edmonton as the day's gone on. I like Edmonton on the puck line, though, plus 125. They're rolling. The Senators aren't. I really think it's as simple as that. This Edmonton offense is starting to click, starting to get lines 1 through 4 really, really going. And I think the over is actually a decent play in this game as well, but my bet of the game is going to be the Oilers at plus 125. A couple other things. Obviously, Connor McDavid held off of the score sheet. If you like him to go over 1.5 tonight, it is paying minus 115. If you like him to find the back of the net, it's paying minus 112. And Evander Kane, if you like him to score in his second straight game, paying plus 145 tonight, courtesy of our friends at PointsBet.
Wow, interesting. All right, Tyler, we have a couple more Tourism Jasper passes to give away, so let's do our key of the game. And anyone listening, to anyone and everyone listening, drop your key to the game in our chat, and you could win.
Yeah, we got a couple on the Facebook chat already. I'm loading up Twitch right now as well, so the Twitch chat doesn't get mad at me for ignoring them like they always do. But my key to the game, Caroline, is going to be get aggressive off the bat. Lay a couple of big hits. Maybe you need a scrap early. There's only going to be 500 people there, so it's not going to be a big atmosphere or anything like that. But this is a Senators team that has not been a good comeback group this season. When they trail after the first period, they have just 1 win and 11 losses. So if you get out to a good start, dominate them physically, get that first goal, and just stay aggressive, you should be able to come away with 2 points tonight.
For me, exactly what you just said. Score first, and keep the lead and stay consistent throughout the game.
Yep.
The guys know what they're doing in their last 4 games. 4-game winning streak. Just don't fix what's not broken. So they just need to go out, keep doing what they're doing. I love to see that physicality from Cassian. I think that we need more of that. I'm hoping to see that tonight with Evander Kane too. Yep. So just come out blazing. I said that against the Habs, and I think that's what we got from the Oilers. Keep it going, keep that momentum going, and I love to see it. So we'll see what happens tonight against the Sens, but I'm with you, Tyler.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the Twitch chat. Marner Goat 16 says, light up Murray, even though I'm a Leafs fan. So we got a Leafs fan in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Very nice to see.
Go Leafs, go.
He also says McDavid needs to score. Handsome Rob, I think that's the handle there. Score more goals than Ottawa. His key to the game, obvious one, but I like it. Kylie Soleil, key is to just keep it rolling over on the Facebook chat. Ryan says, key to the game is to be able to run 4 lines effectively, much like they did against Montreal. So I like that one. And Dylan James Cardinal, key to the game, score first, score lots. Ryan and Dylan, you guys are going to win some ski passes courtesy of Tourism Jasper and some Tourism Jasper swag as well. So shoot us a DM on Facebook and just say that you won, and I will get your info from you there.
I love that because a lot of these key to the games are so simple, but it's just what the Oilers need to keep it simple.
Tonight,
score first, keep the lead, be consistent. Like, go out blazing. I mean, it's just simple stuff. You got to hope that they show up, which I have a feeling they will because they've been on a little bit of a run, knock on wood. Yeah,
4 straight wins. And I mean, you're going up against teams that are not as good as you, right? They beat Vancouver, they beat Montreal, they turned around, and now you're trying to beat an Ottawa team that's also towards the bottom of the standing. So you're right. It should just be like, keep it simple. Yeah. It's not that hard to beat this Ottawa Senators team. Score on your power play opportunities, lay the body, play physical, set the tone, and you should be all good. And the schedule does get a little bit tougher after this. On Wednesday, they're going to be taking on the Washington Capitals. On Tuesday, next week, they're going to be hosting the Vegas Golden Knights, which is going to be a massive, massive game as well. And then later on this month, like, you get a run from the 14th to the 17th where you go San Jose, LA back-to-back, and then Anaheim is that next game. And when you take a look at the playoff situation right now in the Pacific Division, those are going to be some massive hockey games for this team. Edmonton is starting to get back in the playoff race a little bit. 4 wins will absolutely do that for you. 4 wins will do that for you, but when you sort by points percentage, which is the way to do it, they're just like .001 behind the LA Kings for that last playoff spot. So these head-to-head matchups coming up, these games against lesser opponents like tonight against Ottawa, those are just points you absolutely need to have if you're going to be a playoff team.
Absolutely. And some comments in the Twitter chat, get the first goal, and then keep scoring. And then also from Scott Runenberg, just want to say thanks for the content. You guys are the best. We love what we do. We love making the content, and we appreciate you guys joining us every giant pregame show presented by Sherwood Ford. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Tyler?
I'm going back to the Twitch chat here because Genesis was sad that I didn't read their comment and their key to the game. Key to the game is a Kane fight. And I like it. We got a Cassian fight. Maybe we can get 2 straight games with a fight for our friends over at hockeyfights.com. Green Viper says, make some big saves, pressure the Sens, crack the confidence. And I like that as well. Some key saves from MIKKO Koskinen. That'll be a big one tonight. Because really, that's what the Oilers didn't get. Remember last time they played Ottawa? They were up going into the 3rd period. Like, that really was rock bottom for this team on those 2 losing streaks, was the blown game to Ottawa. So tonight is like a good redemption chance for you to just go pedal to the floor, stomp the Sens.
It's a new day, a new game. All right, everyone, this has been your giant pregame show presented by Sherwood Ford. Tyler, Caroline will be back next pregame show, and enjoy the game.